Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel. This is another set of Marvel Dice Throne. This is also part of the box that Jester sent me. This is actually, I think, the last game out of that box, and then I'm all caught up from Jester's unboxing. I do have 3 more games I need to get to after that. Still thinking about what tonight's game is going to be. So, let's take a look at what's in the box for this one. We've got Miles Morales Spider-Man, Scarlet Witch, Loki, and Thor. We'll go through the flavor text for each of these. Miles Morales may be small, but he can pack a mean combo of attacks. Unlike the others, he can turn invisible. The invisibility is quite handy in a pinch, from bolstering his defensive abilities to surprising opponents with extra damage. Pushing his spider reflexes to the limit, his web shooters ensnare enemies, making it all the easier to pile on justice. For Scarlet Witch, she's a master of probability manipulation. This magic wielder is poised to submit her opponent in a reality warp of their nightmares. While conjuring up spells from thin air, her powers crackle with the might of her chaos magic. Reveling in trickery, Loki, the god of mischief, must be found hiding among his illusions. Befuddling his foes with a deft hand, he will put a spell on you. Caution is advised when he smiles and graciously gives you a gift, as his bag of tricks might backfire in your face. As for Thor's attacks sizzle with energy, pushing the god of thunder to new levels of power, penetrating all manners of defense. When he grasps the handle of Mjolnir, his legendary companion, he can call forth the lightning from the storm to bring low all of his enemies. Let's crack this open and see what we've got in here. We've got the Marvel Dice Throne rulebook, which we'll give our cursory thumb through to. And this set of Marvel Dice Thrones actually got the good individual trays here. This brings my collection of Marvel Dice Throne. We'll take a look at Miles Morales. This actually brings my Dice collection, or my Dice Throne collection, up to 14 characters. 14 characters, 14 ancient ones, means I can assign each one individually. We've got Miles Morales here, very nice. And of course the art is not double-sided. We've got his special abilities, his cards, along with his turn order stuff, his tokens, his standee, health die or combat point dial, health dial in here, and his special dice. So we can close that back up. Making sure I've got the top of the box. We'll put that out of the way. Put that over here. Then we'll look at Scarlet Witch next. There's her art. Again, these boards have always been a little bit on the glossy side, but I don't think there's anything I can do about that. Then we've got her abilities: probability manipulation, reality warp, conjure, and crackle, along with her player card. And everything of hers on the inside here. Then we'll pull out Thor. We're getting a look at his character sheet before we even get to his art. We've got Guard Break, Electrokinesis, and Mjolnir. Taking a look at Thor's art. Okay. We'll put all of his tokens in here, along with his standee. We've, of course, got his dice, combat points, health, and his cards. We can throw that back in. And last up is Loki. We'll take a look at Loki. As usual, there's his fold-out. Then we've got his character sheet with Illusion, Bag of Tricks, and Spellbound. There's that. Looks like we've got his special illusion cards, along with some of his cards. So we probably have to find Loki among them. Then we got his status, his tokens, combat points, health, dice. So we can close that up. This is the bottom of the box, so we're going to put everything back in here. And then we'll give the rule book our cursory thumb through. We'll zoom this in just a touch. There we are. Actually, I think this is the same Marvel rule book that I've cracked open earlier, but we'll give it another cursory thumb through. Dice Throne, from what I've seen so far, is actually a fairly straightforward game. So we'll look into a few different options for determining opponents for Christmas and Arkham in the future. Since I'm getting somewhat ready, hang on, the bottom of this box isn't sitting quite right. Because after this year, oh, looks like Loki, oh, I think I see what happened. Loki isn't closing properly, that's what's happening. Anyway, what's going on, and I'm sure Jester and I will have more to say about this on Sunday, after Sunday morning's video. But the Fate of the Elder Gods tournament, when I put it together, I needed something unique. I needed a thematic way to determine my opponent for Christmas in Arkham. At the time, it served its purpose, but now I've got different tools, and now I've got different arrows in the quiver that I can go to. So I'm looking at other ways to do that. Dice Throne is one that I'm exploring. Okay. We'll do a little bit more testing with Dice Throne, I'm sure, before I figure out a final solution. But I would say there's about a 90 to 95% chance that this year is the last year you're going to see the Fate of the Elder Gods tournament on the channel. And our quick reference as usual. Cool. We'll close that up. And then that is everything in the box for Marvel Dice Throne by Roxley Games. Still thinking about what the new game is going to be, so stay tuned for that later tonight. In the meantime, I've got a few more unboxings. So I'm all caught up on everything from Jester's box, but I've got a few brand new games that have come in that we're going to be unboxing, including one I just picked up today, so stay tuned for that on the channel. Thank you for watching this video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.